in the blue, representing Team Alpha X, our Protoss player, he is Astrea.
And his opponent spawning down in the bottom left position of the map. It is the red Terran player from Canada. Give it up for MaSa. Also representing Alpha X. And, well, starting out with one Alpha X team kill into another.
No surprises, that Alpha X team is certainly talented, and everyone they hire is handsome as heck. No question about it. Oh, it's good to see such good players getting in here, and I gotta say, I'm trying not to be too biased because, of course, I am a member of Alpha X, but man, let me tell you, they have really done a great job finding and securing some of the top talent in North America. It is so rare to see a team with such a stranglehold on the talent pool as they had at the beginning of the year. Of course, now Team Exxon, Icebound, Risen from the Ghost, a couple of the teams sort of edging in on their territory. But, oh my god, yeah, Alpha X has done well, but we should probably talk about what the hell's happening in MaSa's base right now, because this is, unorthodox is not strong enough a word, Steadfast.
This is MaSa in a nutshell right here. We have an in-base 4 racks right now, so I'm going to explain what this build is about and why it is such a cool concept to me. So, the way that this is going to work is that this will look, oh, okay, this actually won't work as well necessarily as MaSa was hoping, but what he is trying to do here is trying to represent a quick 2-gas build, and that is what that very fast double supply depot is trying to represent, that very common TY style. And so this is kind of an anti-meta build in which you go for just a ton of Marines off of this, and he's going to pull the boys in maybe a minute or so. And, well, Astrea has not caught on just yet. No shield battery at the front, no second gateway, no chrono boost into units. Just standard play so far.
It's so funny. Astrea has been thoroughly bamboozled. You can see this probe of his checking around the map, looking for proxies. Astrea is right now thinking, wait a minute, you got 2 gases. I saw a Marine first, which means you're saving a bunch of gas for something. You're proxying a starport, or you're proxying something, and not until now, when he sees 3 Marines hitting his adept, does he think, oh, is that? Oh, no! I can just hear the disappointment in Astrea's voice right now as he immediately works on 1 Phoenix. Wow. Is Phoenix the right response here, Steadfast? As you said, there's Marines coming across, and it looks like the boys may have come along with them.
Yes, they absolutely have. And I'm going to tell you exactly why this is what Astrea has done. 3 Marines is totally standard at that point. He thinks that this is just a reactor, and that's just 2 additional Marines, and he just kind of got caught there. This is going to be the first realization that this is an SCV pull, and we are going to see an Astrea in shambles right now. That Phoenix not going to help him. This gateway he tried to build, not going to help him. And, well, I don't think much is going to help him right now. He is down 20 army supply, and he is probably about to be down game 1.
Oh, God. NA players, stay off the ladder if you think you're going to face a Terran for the next, week or something. Oh, man, that was absolute filth from MaSa, and I loved every minute of it. Oh, that was so gross, but I think it was gorgeous. Now, Steadfast, was there anything at all that Astrea could have done to figure that out? How do you counter this? Because I know what we're going to see in chat. Well, we're not because we're in the B stream chat, and the B stream chat's good. If this was on the A stream, I know what we'd be seeing in chat right now, which is, Marines are so overpowered, Terran.
Terran.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that being a potential thing. But, well, honestly, you just need to scout it. If you don't scout that build, there is nothing you can really do to stop it. And, well, MaSa did an excellent job of masking the build. As I said, kind of playing into that meta style a little bit. And Astrea, he wasn't prepared for that. And that's the power of MaSa a little bit. I would say that is what makes him such a terrifying player, is the ability to just go for such an outlandish build, and I just love that aggression.
I'm just laughing at the in-game chat here. Astrea says, I just wanted to build Phoenix, and MaSa said, I'm not going to let you. You better be prepared for it again. Send a first scout with your first probe. Now that is some high-level gamesmanship from MaSa right there. Telling your opponent what you're going to do. We'll see if he actually follows through on his threat here on Death Aura LE. Steadfast, what's the over-under on that happening again?
Honestly, it's MaSa, so I would say there's like a 20 to 30% chance he actually does it. Which I would just love.
Let's roll into it here. Game number 2. Oh, I can't wait. Spawning in the bottom right-hand side of Death Aura LE, it's our blue Protoss player representing T Alpha X. He is Max Angel Astrea.
Yes, it is. And spawning up in the top left position of Death Aura, it is the red Terran player. Give it up for Alpha X's MaSa.
Beautiful.
And he, I am just so proud of MaSa as a player. Like, he is just he's got cojones, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
He is not afraid
You know what else?
Bust it out.
You know what else he doesn't have right now? Gases.
Oh, and he does have a second barracks coming down. Is he just going to go for the same thing? Oh my God. Please make my dreams come true.
I think
MaSa, do it.
Oh, I think this is a fake out. There's no way. There's no now. It's too late now. He doesn't have a second barracks coming down yet,
Yeah.
and he's saving up a bunch of money. I think he's just gonna go for a marine expand here, which is such a smart play, right? Getting into your opponent's head, making him think you're going for the same thing twice, and let's see if Astrea is doing something very similar. On the other side of the map, he is getting that cybernetics core, walling off the Reaper jump up spot. Of course, no Reaper coming, but MaSa not going down to the low ground is no way. Okay, command center on the high ground. He really is going all in to fake out Astrea here and make him think he's doing the same thing.
I think that is such a brilliant maneuver. It is so worthwhile to keep this build hidden. And well, yeah, he's not gonna see this coming. You know, he's already gone for that cybernetics core first. Maybe we see a quick shield battery as well. I think this was a really smart meta play out of MaSa, and that is one of the things that I really feel highlights his play as a player is his ability to play the mind game when so few players are about that life, you know?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know, it's so interesting. Oh my God, of course he is. A second command center coming down from MaSa. MaSa, you cheeky little banana. I love you so much right now. MaSa going from the most, I think it's fair to say, Steadfast, the most aggressive possible Terran play into the most economic possible Terran play. I don't think there's a realistic build right now that is more economically aggressive than what MaSa's putting down, that third CC and then into barracks 2 and 3.
Yeah, no, there's nothing that compares to how greedy that was. He delayed his gases so freaking much. And honestly, like Astrea, he's building a second gateway before. Was that before tech building or was that after? Was that at the same time?
Before.
So he really got bamboozled.
Yeah.
He got bamboozled 2 games in a row. He's cutting probes for a moment, building that shield battery that I talked about. And MaSa's just like, yeah, I'm building 3 SCVs at a time. Just giggling in the top corner right there.
Oh, this is so good. This is so good. I love it so much. Look, if MaSa doesn't win this, he certainly deserves the win based on just how straight cheeky this is. Natural's down now, but look at Astrea's vision. Has not seen anything yet. Gonna try and shade in with the Adept. Sees the Natural now, but a couple extra Marines is not gonna cause him that much consternation. He's gonna be like, all right, whatever, 5 Marines. Not a lot of information given away here. So this is so nice for MaSa. He might actually pick off that. Oh, so close. Adept makes that alive. Robo follow-up here from Astrea, who's going Blink into Blink Stalker Immortal. How do you feel about Blink Stalker Immortal versus this very greedy pressure? Is it gonna allow Astrea to punish MaSa for being this greedy?
Generally speaking, Blink Stalkers are a very nice middle of the road unit. They allow you to control the map. They allow you to kind of pick off units in the middle of the map. Of course, very good defensively, but they don't have that kind of cutthroat punishing mechanic unless you go up for like 5 gates, that old school parting build. But of course, that's
right.
A little bit more aggressive of a play. And Max Angel, he is not as aggressive as, say, someone like MaSa might be. And MaSa, he's going to be up to 5 barracks by the time any number of Blink Stalkers are going to come out on the map. And this is such a surprising build. And I think this is Astrea's first glimpse of it. And oh man, he cannot be happy. Meanwhile, Blink's not yet done. And a couple of Stalkers getting picked off onto the right side. 2 Stalkers, I believe, went down before he had his Blink complete there. And well, that's painful.
The good news is Astrea is finally he finally has some idea what's going on, which means he can finally formulate a response where he can drop down that Robo Bay, which is going to go unscanned, by the way, from MaSa, who doesn't see it happening. And MaSa doesn't see anything else coming. He knows Blink is finished up, and very smart by Astrea to wait for Charge to start up until that scan is finished up. Obviously with Charge and the potential of Colossus, like Charge Lock Colossus can be pretty solid. So if Astrea is going for those Colossus, that's going to be a good timing. But oh my god, there's nothing here. There's nothing here from Astrea. Are you kidding me?
Astrea's got to be like, what the hell are you doing here with these units? Battery overcharge and some really nice force fields will actually prevent these Marines from getting the immediate pick off on those sentries. But he's got to be like, why are there 7 Marines in my natural right now? Like, he's just got to be just tweaking out about that.
This is so good. This is so good. I love this so much, Steadfast. Now, Astrea did get an early 3rd base, which is actually might be his saving grace in this game. He got this 3rd base before he got that massive scout on MaSa, so his 3rd base actually established slightly before MaSa's is, and that's why Astrea has a little bit of a probe lead against his opponent. But as +1 comes out, as Combat Shields finishes up, MaSa's setting himself up for a pretty strong +1 timing push here. You'll notice there's only the 1 NG bay, and it's hidden back in the main base, so he doesn't know what to expect this game. 5 gateways finally coming down. Steadfast, are those going to be fast enough to deal with MaSa's +1 push?
I think so. I think they will be. Charge is going to be done pretty shortly. Now, there is going to be a little bit of a period of vulnerability before those gateways come online, but I don't know if it's going to be enough for MaSa to exploit. That being said, he is starting to creep ahead in that army supply as he got his infrastructure down just so insanely quickly in this game number 2.
Yeah, the real problem right now is that MaSa has absolutely 0 response for these Colossus, right? 3 Colossus about to hit the field. A little counter pressure here, actually getting some nice cancels on the shield, on the supply depots rather. Widowmines will drive that away, but yeah, there's just no response for these Colossi. I don't care how good your bio is. +1 bio is great, but if the Colossi are microed very effectively, Astrea is going to have a good chance of driving this back. He's going to catch a couple Stalkers here on the flippity flop. It looks like those will be pushed away. A couple Zealots as well. A very awkward engagement for both players here, and these Stalkers will be forced back. Oh my gosh, this is so weird. So weird.
Yeah, that was a really nice dodge from Astrea. MaSa set up a very frightening trap with that flank of bio units, but Astrea was able to blink away to the kind of upper right side. But this is a lot of bio, and extended thermal lance is not yet done. Nice Widowmine shot taking out that sentry. No more Guardian Shield. A lot of these units are very low on HP, and MaSa is looking like he may be able to get something done, but no. Ooh. Okay, there we go. Some big Colossus swipes at the very end are going to be able to hold on.
Some really interesting missed target firing from MaSa there, who looked like he was going for probes, but if you'll see, he wasted a lot of shots on this Nexus, wasn't able to focus fire down the Colossi very well, missed a whole Colossus here, and now the tide has turned a little bit as Astrea is going to march across the map. The good news for MaSa is that Astrea does not have a Warp Prism. Been focusing so hard on cranking out those Colossi from his Robos, he wasn't able to get a Warp Prism out, which means he won't be able to sustain this damage, and of course there should be enough reinforcements for MaSa, I hope, to defend against this. I think he'll be fine. Little Zealot run by at the natural should be taken care of pretty quickly. Gonna land those mules, and MaSa again will find himself in a decent position. But remember how Astrea had that very early 3rd base and had a probe lead earlier in the game? Gone. Gone, baby. 65 to 65. These players evened up on workers, and of course that's gonna favor our Terran player. The good news for Astrea, his 4th base already established.
Yeah, that's very good. He's able to crank out 4 probes at a time. If there's one thing I would say about Astrea, it is that his probe production is so crisp and so on point. And while he did lose 14 probes during that one attack, he is able to now rebuild them, and he's retaken that worker lead. Now, of course, mules are a big factor, but so are DTs, and we are seeing them making their way in towards the 3rd base and the natural right here. Astrea going to be getting in, and he is going to be finding some really nice damage. Quick scan from MaSa will pick off that 1 DT, and meanwhile in the natural, A couple more SCVs go down. 5 SCVs, not the end of the world. Not bad, but not the end of the world.
Yeah, really nicely done. 5 SCVs plus basically 2 mules, because each scan is worth 1 mule, so decent damage. But yeah, you know, you'd hope for something a little bit better, and of course that's going to tip off MaSa. I was going to say he's going to build some missile turrets, but looks like only 1 going down. Should definitely build some static defense at the third base. Would be well worth it here. Interesting that we're seeing a Warp Prism drop from Astrea, heading up to the main base with some more Zealots inside, and there ain't much here to deal with it, Steadfast.
No, there is not. But meanwhile, a big Doom drop coming into the main base of Astrea right now.
God.
It is going to get unloaded, just dodge the army, and going to be able to really wreck this infrastructure. Robotics Bay is going to get target fire down. Recall will come down, but it's mostly Stalkers. 2-2, though, is going to finish up in the middle of this fight, and that is going to allow Astrea to very crisply clean this up. Meanwhile, in the main base, 15, 16 SCVs have gone down, and, well, all of a sudden, MaSa finds himself in a terrible economic spot relative to his opponent.
Man, it always happens in DreamHack this way, doesn't it? It doesn't matter what happens in the fight on the other side of the map. It's just a distraction, basically. Astrea happy to take that fight, even trade a little inefficiently, because the economic damage he's able to do is crippling. A DT at the third as well for a total of 28 SCV kills, resetting MaSa back to the Stone Age. 47 workers to 73 now, and I don't care how strong mules are. That's going to be really rough. 5th base being built for Astrea as the 4th base for MaSa kicks over to the 12 o'clock. It's looking more and more Steadfast like we may actually have a Game 3 on our hands.
Yeah, finally. You know, you talked about that single engineering bay earlier on in the game and how that was a bit more of a commitment to trying to get something done. Well, MaSa still hasn't added on a second engineering bay. And Astrea, he went double forge, and he has been chrono boosting those upgrades like a madman.
Oh, yeah.
And very soon, we are going to see 3-3 on the Protoss units with just +2 attack and +1 armor for the Terran. And if it wasn't already a rough position for MaSa, it is going to get so much worse once those 3-3 upgrades kick in.
Yeah, as always, don't be fooled by the Army Supply tab at the bottom, those orange numbers that show that Astrea might be just barely ahead. Look at the Army Value tab I've got pulled up here, and you'll see that Astrea is a good solid 20% ahead of his opponent Army Value. And oh my god, some delicious force fields. Those Zealots gonna tear their way through the bio units, and MaSa knows he's gonna lose everything. GG! Astrea draws the series even 1-1. I'll be honest, I don't like quitters. I don't like people who lie, Steadfast, and I don't like that MaSa didn't go for that quadruple barracks push again this game.
Honestly, I think it would have been a pretty neat play to go for that. I would have been happy to see that. I would have been really happy to see that, I think. But well, not going to be the case. And MaSa kind of he really was trying to win this series with build orders. And as a result, now he's kind of, it feels a little bit like out of gas after that game number 2. It feels like Astrea is, I mean, who knows? Maybe MaSa is going to bust something even crazier out in game number 3. But it really feels to me like he invested in winning this series 2-0.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm sorry, I'm smiling reading the chat here. MaSa, Astrea says, as expected, 3cc no gas. Knew it was coming. And MaSa said, I think 3cc no gas kind of sucks. I need more pressure. It's just so funny to see. Like, I love it when players who are very clearly good buddies play with each other, just because they're not afraid to like have a good time and joke around a little bit after their matches. You know, there's something to be said for very serious, big money matches, but always good when the players have a sense of humor about, you know, we're playing a video game. Like, how can we take this super seriously? Let's hop into game 3, Steadfast, and see if MaSa is going to treat us to another wacky build.
All right, and we have spawning up in the top left position the man, the myth, the legend, the blue Protoss player, Max Angel. Give it up for Astrea, evening the series at 1 apiece with some really crisp play and nice defense overall.
Yeah. And his opponent at the bottom right-hand side in the red, also from Team Alpha X. It's our Terran player. His name is MaSa.
And, well, he is already sending out an SCV to a weird location.
Yeah, got a barracks going down in the main, but it doesn't look like that's the only thing that's happening. I don't think this is a scouting SCV. Something's telling me, Steadfast, this ain't a scouting SCV.
My guess is engineering bay block.
Yeah.
If I had to put money on it, that would be what I've expected. But mostly because he took the exact same scouting route in game number 2 of the series versus Asuna on this map. Well, I'm cheating a little bit. I'm copying my own homework.
Sure.
But yeah, it's fine. And Astrea will quickly respond to this. So the engineering bay not going to get a whole lot of HP, and just 3 probes being pulled. That should be enough to slowly whittle this down.
Yeah, it's a bit of lost mining time and a bit of a commitment from Astrea to really knock it down. Sometimes you'll see players forcing out a Zealot first, even before their Cyber Core is finished, and that's about ideal, really. But no Zealot forced out, and let's just look like Cyber Core's coming down. So Astrea, not in any huge rush to deal with this, and it looks like he knows what he's doing. Should see the cancel coming out from MaSa. There it is, and Astrea can get right back to work, maybe dropping that Nexus down now. The Nexus going down. Wait, it's going down now. God, I'm such a good caster.
Only the best.
Yeah, you know how it is. MaSa, aside from that NG Bay block, though, looks very standard this game, Steadfast. We've got the Marine expand into Factory, which is very common these days, and no CC yet, so CC should be coming down right after this. Asuna banking up about 400 minerals. He'll have the scratch for that additional, well, as soon as I say it. Hang on. There it is. Okay, CC goes down. And then is he going to proxy a starport? I feel like he is.
It feels like that to me. He's going to be putting it in a different location than he did in game number 2 versus Asuna. But yeah, still same game plan. And well, where is that? There it is. Starport.
This is actually pretty smart. If you're playing in a semifinals of a bracket match and they're holding both games, you can't do the same build on the same map against a player of the same race, right? If Astrea had been watching the previous series, he'd be like, "Oh, I know what you're doing. Like you can't pull the wool over my eyes the same way you did with him the last game. No way." But MaSa knows that Astrea was actually in his game versus Neeb while MaSa was playing Asuna. So even though Astrea hasn't seen this yet, MaSa knows that he hasn't seen it yet and he can try, but what a beautiful scouting pattern from Astrea there. Beautiful. I can't believe that finished. Oh,
that was so lucky. Safe. MaSa calls himself safe right there. Like an umpire, but calling himself right there. And man, that was so dicey right there. I think that was a weird scenario where the way the Hellions lined up, I don't think they were actually in the brush.
Oh, interesting. Wait,
they just disappeared for me. Did they just disappear for you?
They're gone on my screen as well. That brush,
what is that?
That brush is real.
That is so weird.
That's real thick brush right there. Goodness gracious. I assume that's an observer issue, not a player. If that was a player issue, that would have been sorted out a long time ago. Of course, now Astrea expecting this. He's even going to see this drop coming. I love that Astrea re-rallies his probe. He's like, no, I see you. I see you. Stalker's already here. I can't believe MaSa's continuing this drop, though.
Well, there's no shield battery in though. This is actually going to get some damage done.
You're
6 probes, 7 probes. That's not so bad considering the fact that it was scouted.
You know what's so dumb, Steadfast? The previous game, this exact same thing happened for MaSa. Asuna did not scout it, and MaSa got 7 kills. This game, Astrea scouted it so early, knew it was coming, and MaSa still got 8 kills. More worth it this time for MaSa, even when it was scouted. He's going to go back in with some Widow Mines now as well, floating that starport back home, but more Widow Mines coming out. And it does look like MaSa is going for a very, very similar game plan as he did against Asuna earlier on. Constant drops, lots of Widow Mines, try and bait the Protoss player in. Oh boy. Okay, Astrea's going to get out. Thank goodness.
Yes, he will. Just barely, though. And, well... Oh, MaSa's pulling a sneaky right here. He's going to try and walk into the natural. Oh, now this Stalker, though, it's actually...
Gone.
Almost walked into the probes right there. Jeez.
We will note there's an armory down, of course, for MaSa. So these Widow Mines are cloaked. Luckily, there are 2 observers in the field, but it's going to be just a little bit more difficult to go ahead and clear these. It looks like the pull will be just barely in time. Nice pull there from Astrea, able to save himself from getting more than 1 probe killed. And honestly, very, very good defenses from Astrea so far. Good cleanups and a few Widow Mines hanging around. But that's how MaSa won the previous series, wasn't it? With just a few Widow Mines hanging around, being really annoying.
Yeah, and well, he is going to find... Oh, nice pullback from Astrea. Very good multitasking. Paying attention to the minimap here. Of course, you don't receive an under attack notification when it is just a Widow Mine targeting you.
Yeah.
It's not until your unit dies.
Yeah. It's not quite as forgiving as like when a zealot starts attacking you. Like, all right, I got like 30 seconds to get over there and figure out what this zealot is. You're just gone, man. You're solid gone. Ooh, so many stalkers here. Whoa! Barely gets away. Nicely done. Nicely done. Continued drops here from MaSa, but so far the defense from Astrea has been pretty darn phenomenal. Steadfast.
Oh, very, very good so far. Almost got a really big Widow Mine shot in the natural there earlier, but well, almost, as you said before, almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, and I forget what the other thing was. But...
Women.
Ah, there you go.
Definitely. Or men, depending on how old-timey you are. That's what my grandpa always used to say. It was close only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and women. Because, if you're close to him, that's the date's going well then, if that's going down. Astrea's got a Robo Bay on the way. Finally, MaSa adding on gases here and a third base just about to finish up. So it looks like MaSa's still in pretty decent shape. He is way behind economically, though. I mean, Astrea is going to have such a sustainable economy, and already the Colossi coming out. As soon as ETL hits the field, Steadfast, I feel like Astrea is going to be in an unassailable position again in this game, just like he was in the last game.
Yeah, and I really like the way that he goes for that delayed double forge. Knowing that MaSa is likely... okay. Widow Mine does not... Oh!
Wow! Damn, that was close. There's nothing else to say. Damn, that was close. Astrea split perfectly there. That could have been atrocious. Oh, man, that could have been game-ending right there. This is why Widow Mines are great. Widow Mines are like the disruptors of Terran, right? You get one or two good shots, and that it pays off. 10 Widow Mines get destroyed, okay, whatever. As long as one of them hits their target, totally well worth it. So, MaSa going to continue with these Widow Mines, I think. He stopped production for now, going just into bio from here. And again, we see MaSa on just one NG Bay, which is so consternating for me. Usually Terran players like to be on 2 by this point in the game.
Yeah, I would at least like to see him add another one on much quicker than he did in that last game. As long as, he does so, it's not the end of the world. But, looks like a couple of Stalkers got picked off by these 2 Widow Mines. Not bad for MaSa. It's a nice little pick off. He did go for a relatively early 5 racks here, so he is going to be trying to get something done with this attack. He did, of course, delay that 3rd command center, and that is why he is so far behind economically. But this production has come online much quicker for him. Now, Astrea is up to 6 gates with a 7th and 8th on the way, so he is going to be able to take advantage of his economic lead. But MaSa does have a pretty nice army supply lead, very similar to the previous game.
Yeah, he really does. And wow, there it is. One Widow Mine shot down. Second one is going to get down here. Bad pull from Astrea, but he's barely going to get out alive. Retargeting by MaSa is very cute, but he's forced to just eat the 1 damage. But yeah, as you said, anytime you sacrifice something in a StarCraft game, it means you get something in return, right? MaSa has sacrificed a bit of economy to get this huge army push now. And while he has a good scan here, sees the army of Astrea in position, I think he's going to try and draw Astrea out of position there at the natural with what I think is a drop going down in the natural right now. Or, yeah, 1 medevac trying to draw Astrea out. Doesn't quite work, though, and MaSa's still just posturing. The longer he waits, though, the worse things get for MaSa as Astrea's income continues to spiral out of control.
Yeah, and not just that, but the upgrades are going to become a problem over time, too. Now, he is adding on the 2nd engineering base, so he will be able to scale with this 2-2 not too badly. Nicely placed observer from Astrea is going to set up right on top of MaSa's army. And that's going to prevent Astrea from really getting caught out of position here. Ooh, DT is once again joining the fray. And, well, scan going to come down here. MaSa, oh man, I'm sure he wishes he killed those sentries so desperately because he wanted to run in. I guarantee you he wanted to run in earlier, and he wants to run in now as well.
Yeah, the threat of force fields is just too much. The boys have been pulled, though, and MaSa's all in. I hope you're ready to roll, Steadfast, because this is the end of this game for sure.
Absolutely it is. DTs are getting damaged on the other side of the map. That's going to be a real problem for MaSa. We do have a really nice defensive setup here. Astrea warping in more sentries. They're going to join just in time, and we'll get the force fields there.
Oh, God.
And, well, I think that's got to be it. These Colossus are just absolutely annihilating MaSa. One of them does go down. The Disruptor shot hits right in the center of the pile. Only Marauders left over. And Astrea